Gentlemen, listen closely. When a woman says certain things to you, she isn't just talking, she's revealing her core beliefs, her intentions, and sometimes even her disrespect. You have to be man enough to recognize the red flags and walk away without looking back. When a woman says, "I need to find myself," it might sound poetic, mature, or even spiritual. You may interpret it as her needing some time alone to reflect, heal, or grow. But in most cases, this phrase is a sugar-coated way of saying, "I don't want you anymore, but I don't want to feel like the bad guy either." It's a soft rejection wrapped in pretty language. She doesn't say, "We need to work through this," or "let's grow together," because her mind is no longer in it. She's not inviting you on her journey. She's telling you that you're not part of her path moving forward. A woman who genuinely wants to grow with you doesn't push you away when things get tough. She includes you in her process. She shares her fears, her hopes, and her need for space in a way that respects the relationship. But when she tells you she needs to find herself, it's not an invitation for support. It's an emotional escape hatch. She wants the freedom to explore life without you, whether it's her career, her social circle, or even another man. Something else has captured her attention. She's not seeking herself. She's seeking a life that doesn't include you. And here's the harsh truth most men ignore. When a woman uses that phrase, she's often already mentally and emotionally checked out. She's likely been thinking about it for weeks, maybe even months. You're just now catching up to where her heart left off. You might want to fight for her, prove your worth, give her space, and hope she comes back stronger. But understand this: people don't leave what they value. They don't create distance from what they treasure. They don't go on solo quests when their partner is the peace they're looking for. The moment she says, "I need to find myself," she's telling you in the kindest way she can that she wants out. And if you don't respect that, you'll be the one clinging to something that no longer exists, chasing after someone who's already emotionally gone. That phrase is a door slowly closing, and the longer you stand in front of it, the more pain you'll collect. When a woman says, "You're too good for me," most men hear that and feel a sense of pride, like it's a compliment. They assume she's being humble, honest, maybe even vulnerable. But look beneath the surface. That statement is rarely about admiration. It's a preemptive emotional disclaimer. She's warning you that she won't meet your standards. She's signaling that she's not ready or willing to rise to the level of love, consistency, and maturity you bring to the table. It's not that she genuinely believes you're too good. It's that she knows she's not bringing what you deserve. Maybe she's still hung up on an ex. Maybe she's still playing games. Maybe she's emotionally immature or carries damage from past relationships she hasn't resolved. Whatever the reason, she knows her actions, mindset, or values don't align with yours. And rather than fixing those things, she'd rather avoid the pressure of growth and label you as too good. That way, when things fall apart, she gets to play the role of the tragic self, saboteur instead of the one who failed to reciprocate love. It's a strategy that subtly manipulates your self-image. She wants you to second-guess yourself. She wants to create a story where she's the problem and you're the hero, so you keep giving her chances, lowering your standards, accepting less than you deserve, all in the name of love. But in reality, she's not planning to rise to your level. She's planning to pull you down to hers. She'll test how much you're willing to tolerate under the illusion that you're helping her heal or giving her grace. And while you're stuck trying to uplift her, she's still living in her dysfunction, still justifying her inconsistent behavior, still choosing chaos over accountability. This kind of dynamic drains you. You begin to believe that love means patience, endurance, and unconditional tolerance. But the truth is, if someone tells you they can't match your energy, your values, or your efforts, believe them. Don't take it as a challenge to prove your loyalty. Take it as a cue to walk away, because love isn't about fixing someone who doesn't want to be fixed. It's about choosing someone who matches your peace, your growth, your discipline, and your direction. When she says, "You're too good for me," what she's really saying is, "I know I won't treat you right, but I hope you'll stick around anyway. And if you do, don't be surprised when that imbalance becomes a pattern, where you give everything and she gives excuses." When a woman says, "My ex still talks to me sometimes," you need to pay attention not just to the words, but to the way she says it. Is it casual, like it's no big deal? Is it framed as a joke? Or does she use it as a test to see your reaction? No matter the tone, the message is serious. She is telling you that a man from her past still holds space in her present. And if you allow that kind of energy into your relationship, you're not building anything stable. You're building on a fault line where emotional tremors from her past can shake everything you're trying to create. Let's be clear, no woman accidentally keeps in touch with her ex. That communication is a choice. It's not something that just happens. Whether it's a text here and there, a social media interaction, or full-on conversations, it means she has not closed the chapter. And if she hasn't closed the chapter with him, how can she fully open one with you? A woman who's ready for real commitment doesn't entertain ghosts from her past. She knows how sacred trust is, and she guards it by making sure you never have to question where her attention or emotions lie. Now, some women will say, "Oh, we're just friends," or "he needed closure," but those words are smoke screens. They're rationalizations for keeping emotional doors cracked open just in case she gets bored, just in case your relationship hits a rough patch, just in case he becomes appealing again. And the most dangerous part, when a woman tells you about the ex who still contacts her, it's not always a confession. It's often a challenge. She wants to see how much you'll tolerate, how much of your masculinity she can test before you say enough. Don't fall into the trap of trying to be the secure guy who's okay with everything. Being secure doesn't mean accepting disrespect. It means having strong boundaries and knowing what you will and won't tolerate. If she respects you, she'll cut that tie without hesitation. She'll block, delete, and move forward, because she values what she's building with you more than the nostalgia of what she lost with him. But if she keeps that door open, even just a crack, she's inviting comparison, confusion, and chaos into your relationship. And here's the painful truth. If she's still entertaining her ex, part of her is still emotionally invested there. She might say she's over him, but actions speak louder than words. You'll feel it in the way she responds slower to you when he reaches out, in the way her energy shifts, in the way she defends his presence instead of respecting your concern. A woman who is truly yours doesn't give you reasons to feel insecure. She doesn't put you in a position to question her loyalty. So when she tells you her ex still talks to her, don't brush it off. Don't get caught up in excuses or false reassurances. That statement is not just a detail. It's a declaration of where her boundaries really are. And if those boundaries don't protect your peace, your dignity, or your emotional safety, then you already have your answer. When a woman says, "I don't believe in labels right now," you need to recognize the game being played. This isn't about her being progressive or emotionally evolve. It's often a tactic to keep her options open while securing your loyalty. She wants the benefits of your attention, your time, your emotional availability, maybe even your body, but without giving you the commitment that makes any of it meaningful. And the danger in this isn't just in what she's saying. It's in what she's not willing to say or do. See, when someone says they don't believe in labels, what they're really saying is, "I don't want to be held accountable for how I treat you." Labels bring clarity, they define roles, they set boundaries and expectations. And if she can avoid those things, she's free to act however she wants, while you stay emotionally invested and confused. You start giving boyfriend level energy while being treated like a placeholder. You invest in her emotionally and physically, but she's emotionally unavailable and undefined, and that imbalance drains you slowly, mentally, spiritually, and even physically. This mindset of avoiding labels is rooted in a fear of accountability and a desire for control. Because once something has a name, boy, friend, girlfriend, partner, it comes with a standard. And if she's not ready to meet that standard, she'll resist it. But instead of saying, "I don't want to be serious with you," she'll hide behind vague phrases like "I don't like labels," or "let's just go with the flow." It sounds casual, free, even modern, but what it really does is keep you in limbo, constantly questioning your worth and where you stand. And don't be surprised if she expects loyalty from you during this undefined phase. She may still act jealous if she sees you talking to other women. She may still expect you to check in, to show up, to support her like a committed partner, while reminding you that technically you're not together. That contradiction is where the emotional manipulation lies. She gets the full emotional support of a relationship without the responsibility of one. She holds power because she's keeping you off balance. You're chasing clarity while she enjoys control. What's more, many men stay in this position far too long because they're hoping she'll eventually come around. They think if they're patient enough, consistent enough, kind enough, she'll change her mind. But the longer you stay in that undefined situation, the more she sees that she can have everything she wants without ever having to commit. And the more you give, the less she values it, because what's handed over freely, without standards, without conditions, is rarely respected. She begins to see you as someone who doesn't even demand what you deserve. If she truly respected and wanted you, the label wouldn't be a problem. Commitment wouldn't scare her. Defining the relationship would be something she initiates, not avoids. So when she says she doesn't believe in labels, take it for what it is. A signal that she's not ready, not serious, or not truly invested in you. And no matter how much potential you see in her, or how much time you've already put in, never settle for emotional ambiguity, because being someone's maybe, when you're offering them your everything, is a betrayal of your own value. When a woman says, "You're just being insecure," she's not always offering feedback. Many times, she's weaponizing your emotions against you. This phrase often emerges when a man finally starts expressing concern, setting a boundary, or asking questions that make her feel exposed or accountable. Rather than addressing the issue with maturity, she flips the script. She makes you the problem, your feelings, your instincts, your discomfort. They're suddenly portrayed as irrational or weak. This is a subtle but powerful form of emotional manipulation, and if you don't catch it early, it can destroy your confidence over time. Think about the situations where this phrase is usually used. You might ask her why she keeps texting her male friend late at night. You might question why she suddenly hides her phone, becomes more secretive, or starts disappearing for hours without explanation. And instead of giving you clarity, she hits you with, "You're just being insecure." It shuts down the conversation instantly. It makes you second guess your intuition. It shifts the focus from her suspicious behavior to your emotional reaction. Suddenly, instead of addressing the real issue, you're defending your right to even feel uncomfortable. This is a psychological tactic known as gaslighting, minimizing your perception of reality until you begin to question your sanity. The woman who does this is not interested in resolving the problem. She's interested in control. By labeling your concern as insecurity, she invalidates your emotions. And worse, she positions herself as the rational one, the calm one, while painting you as needy, jealous, or paranoid. Over time, this erodes your self-respect. You begin to silence your instincts, suppress your gut feelings, and tolerate behavior that, deep down, you know is wrong. Men in this situation often convince themselves that they just need to be less emotional, or that their feelings are a burden. But emotions are not the enemy. Lack of emotional validation is. And the truth is, a woman who truly respects you will never mock or dismiss your feelings. She will listen. She will have uncomfortable conversations. She will take accountability when her actions cause doubt. She won't hide behind the excuse of your being insecure, just to avoid being transparent. That phrase becomes her shield when she doesn't want to face her own contradictions. The irony is, many of the men who are accused of being insecure in these situations are not weak. They are aware. They're observant, emotionally intelligent, and they pick up on shifts in energy. And instead of being appreciated for their depth and attentiveness, they are punished for it. The insecure label becomes a trap. Either you accept it and shut up, or you resist it and get framed as the aggressor. Either way, you lose ground, and she keeps the upper hand, all while continuing behavior that disrespects the emotional safety of the relationship. So when a woman throws this phrase at you, examine not just what you're being accused of, but why it's being said in the first place. If your concern is valid, and if you've expressed it calmly and clearly, you are not insecure. You are being emotionally responsible. Never allow someone to twist your desire for honesty into a flaw. Because when you let that kind of language go unchecked, you give them permission to keep crossing boundaries while you slowly shrink yourself to keep the peace. When a woman says, "You're not man enough for me," she's not just throwing out words. She's striking at the very core of your identity as a man. It's not a casual insult. It's a psychological dagger designed to provoke, belittle, and dominate. This kind of statement doesn't come from a place of love or even frustration. It comes from a place of control. It's a calculated blow aimed at your self-worth, and if you internalize it, it can leave permanent damage on how you see yourself and how you move through future relationships. Most of the time, this line is used not when you've actually failed, but when you've finally started setting boundaries. Maybe you said no to something unreasonable. Maybe you walked away from drama. Maybe you stopped chasing her when she started playing games. And suddenly, rather than engage in mature dialogue, she attacks your masculinity. "You're not man enough for me." Why? Because a woman like this equates your willingness to be controlled, manipulated, or emotionally abused with your level of manhood. And the moment you stop feeding her ego or jumping through hoops, She uses shame to try and pull you back into submission. It's a power play, nothing more. A woman who needs to put you down in order to feel strong doesn't want a man. She wants a puppet, someone she can dominate, manipulate, and control. In her world, man enough means obedient, overly accommodating, emotionally mute, and endlessly forgiving of her chaos. But that's not strength. That's submission disguised as masculinity. And when you reject that version of manhood, when you refuse to be disrespected, that's when she pulls this line out like a weapon. What makes this especially dangerous is how deeply it can affect your internal dialogue. For many men, being told they're not man enough reopens old wounds, perhaps from childhood, past relationships, or societal pressures. It taps into your fears of inadequacy, failure, and rejection, and that's exactly what she wants, because the more insecure you become, the easier you are to control. You start trying harder to prove yourself, overcompensating, sacrificing your standards, becoming someone you're not, just to convince someone who doesn't even respect you that you're worthy. But here's what a lot of men don't realize. A woman who says this is revealing her own brokenness. She's showing you that she sees relationships as competitions, not partnerships. She's playing a game of dominance, not connection. And she's projecting her own lack of feminine balance onto you, expecting you to fill a void that she hasn't even acknowledged within herself. In her eyes, you're not a man unless you're willing to tolerate mistreatment without protest. That's not love. That's psychological warfare dressed up as romantic standards. No healthy, grounded woman will ever tell you you're not man enough. Because a real woman knows that masculinity isn't about being loud, controlling, or emotionally numb. It's about consistency, leadership, clarity, self-respect, and boundaries. She doesn't need to diminish your manhood to feel powerful in her womanhood. She uplifts it, she compliments it, but the woman who throws this insult, she's at war with herself. She's lashing out because deep down she knows she can't control you the way she wants to, and your strength intimidates her. When you hear that phrase, it should not make you doubt yourself. It should clarify everything. It should show you exactly who you're dealing with. Not someone who wants to build with you, but someone who wants to break you down so she can feel taller. Someone who equates masculinity with compliance and silence. Someone who, rather than appreciate the man you are, tries to mold you into something you're not. A man who knows his worth doesn't entertain insults disguised as honesty or tolerate manipulation masquerading as love. The moment a woman begins to use words that chip away at your confidence, question your masculinity, or make you doubt your place in her life, that is the moment you must stand firm. These aren't just red flags, they are stop signs. And when you ignore them, you're not being strong, you're being self-destructive. True strength isn't found in how long you stay in a situation that disrespects you. It's found in your ability to walk away from it with your dignity intact. You don't owe anyone your peace, your power, or your presence, especially not someone who tries to diminish you with words that cut deeper than silence ever could. Remember this, you're not walking away because you're weak. You're walking away because you finally realized you deserve better. Better love, better respect, better energy, and most importantly, a better life. So when she says those 5 things, don't pause. Don't plead, don't explain, just walk, because real men don't stay where their value is questioned. They move on, and never look back.